viewers in Trinidad and Tobago and across the Caribbean. Thank you for being with us today. I am Jewel Green, and this is Book Club Corner, where every Wednesday on Tobago Updates, we talk to local authors about their books and we connect the local readers with local authors. Thank you for being with us today. Today we have with us Iana Benjamin, published author, attorney at law, and adjunct professor at Edward Waters University. And we are really happy to have her here with us. Welcome, Iana.
Thank you so much for having me.
Before we get into Iana, let me tell you, you know how we do it on Book Club Corner. We have brunch on Book Club Corner, and of course, we got some wines for you today. So we want to talk about this wine, and we want to thank our sponsor, Jofield Wine. They sponsored us. This wine is called Sweet Potato Wine. Can you imagine? We have a sweet potato wine. And this wine is a really smooth, earthy blend, but we're going to do the 5 S's of wine tasting, which is we're going to see the wine. We're going to look at the color, clarity. We are going to swirl the wine. We sniff the wine. We sip and we savor.
It's good.
I'm getting some very light. So this white wine is a very light wine. It isn't heavy. It isn't weighted down at all. Some woody notes to it, but you're getting this really crisp, light. Let me tell you, this wine, 12%, you want to get some of this. And I just want to tell you, we have some branded glasses. We want to thank our sponsor. We will get into that a little later, but we are now Book Club Corner glasses. So we want to cheers today. Thank you for being with us, Iana, and we want to get into your book, right?
Sure.
So when I saw this book, and we know each other well,
yes,
but online. First time I'm meeting you. It's so good to meet you. So when I saw this book, I Am Well, I said, is this a book about health? And then I saw, I read the description and I saw that it's a mantra book for children.
Yes.
So my question is, Iana, tell us, why did you decide to write a mantra book for children? And tell us also, what is a mantra?
So firstly, I decided to write the book for my son. He is now 5 years old. And it was during COVID, and he wasn't getting to interact with other children his age because he was kind of secluded. And I would often recite mantras to him. So mantras are just positive sayings that you say to yourself about yourself, to uplift yourself and inspire yourself. So I would say mantras to him all the time. So I said, you know what, maybe I could just write down the things that I want him to say to himself and codify it in a book form. And then I looked into publishing and I'm like, maybe I could get this published. And then went down that rabbit hole of trying to get it published.
Oh, we're going to talk about that. We're going to get into that publishing rabbit hole you mentioned. But this book, I Am Well, let me tell you, y'all are looking sometimes for good books for your children, good local books. And this book is one of those. I Am Well is such a well-written book. I mean, sometimes because we think it's for children, we usually oversimplify it, right? But this book, as you're saying, is a mantra. And for those out there who are wondering, yes, she gave the explanation, but it's also like an affirmation.
Absolutely.
Something positive about yourself.
Yes.
That you're looking to happen for yourself.
Absolutely.
Right? You may not feel it's true today because, sometimes we deal with, confidence in ourselves and what we can do and who we are. But this book is helping children get that confidence, speaking positive words into themselves, speaking life into themselves. And we want to get into the book. We want to read some of it.
Absolutely.
And our author, we love to be read to on Book Club Corner, right? So I Am Well, Mantras for Young Hearts and Young Minds. Oh, I love this. And the feel, before you start to read it, I just wanted to, I love the feel of the cover of the book. Let me tell you, I'm a bookie. I'm a bibliophile to my core. So when I get a book, I have to feel.
I'm like you. I like a physical book. Like I read online too, often, but I like to hold a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I loved how the cover felt. You know, I said children are going to love to hold this book and to touch it.
Yes.
You know, and you know, just to throw this in for the schools that you've attended. So you went to Speyside and to Bell Garden Anglican Primary School.
Yes.
We're going to get into whether you're going to be reading for your alma mater, those little kiddies.
That's a great
We're
idea.
on vacation, but don't forget, you could go back to them and probably donate some of these books. So let's get into reading.
Okay, great. I am well. I am flowing like the ocean. I am flowing like the streams. I am well. I'm rustling like the cane fields. I'm rustling like the trees. I am well. I am soaring high in the clouds above. I am well. I am soaring like the eagles above. I am well. I am happy. I am healthy. I am well. I am enough. I am made of good stuff. I am well. I am free-flowing like a kite. I am light. I am well. I am the source of all goodness. I am the source of all kindness. I am well. I am grace. I am fit to run and win this race.
Let's pause there.
Yes.
Let's pause there. These are some powerful words you've put in here, Iana. And let me just go back.
Yes.
I realize there's some flow and poetry in here.
Yes.
So while they're saying their mantras, they're getting some poetry, some poetry down in here. Are you a poet? Tell us.
At age 7, I started writing poems.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't necessarily classify myself as just a poet.
Yeah.
But I like poems.
Yes.
I like poetry. Yes.
Let me tell you, we love poets here. When we have brunch on Book Club Corner and we start to get into our wine, sometimes we wax poetic with these words. But you have here, I am well. I'm flowing like the ocean. This really, like this ocean and like a stream, really getting into our Caribbean, right? Our geography as it is, in terms of having water everywhere, whether it's streams, rivers, and I really like that. And then you talk about cane fields.
Yes. I had to throw in some Caribbean roots there.
All right then.
Yes.
I am rustling like the cane fields, right? Rustling like the trees. I love that. And I also like that you're taking the children high, you're taking them low, very personal, making it personalized for them in terms of their experience. So it's not something that they like trains on. I don't know nothing about that. It's something they can identify.
Definitely.
With.
And the imagery too.
Yes.
The imagery, I commend the illustrator for capturing what I was trying to say as well.
And I love the imagery. So when you found this is what I wanted to do, when you decided I'm going to write a mantra book for children, you had put it down.
Yes.
And
that was the easy part.
And then you decided, I'm going to publish this book.
Yes.
Tell us about that process.
So firstly, finding an illustrator. So especially knowing that I wanted to do a children's book, imagery was important.
Right.
Getting great, crisp images was key. So I found my illustrator. She's actually a Native American, and she, I found her online, and she was part of a website called Upwork, and you can find different illustrators there.
Yeah.
And when I presented the project to her, she was like, I want to jump in and get in on this project with you. And she knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, she did.
She did.
Listen, it is options that authors and publishers need. And Upworks, let me tell you, Upworks is one of those sites, just like Fiverr.
Yes.
If you were to need somebody to do your graphics, to do your book cover, to help you do your illustrations for your book, Upworks is a good space. And that is as well for persons who do that kind of work. You can use those websites to also get work for yourself. It's not only you go there if you're looking for somebody to do your graphics or your book cover to help you edit. But if you do that kind of work, if you're a graphic artist, if you're somebody who is into illustration, you can also go to Upworks or Fiverr. And we're giving you some good hints. Let me tell you, to do and make money from home. We did not forget what COVID did to us, and we will never forget, right? So these are places you can go to make money and to offer your services to authors, to publishers, to persons who are needing that kind of work, right? So let's carry on with this. So you decided to publish, you went and you tell me the next step. You got up and you decided, I'm going to publish. how did you find a publisher? And did you find difficulty? Because we are in the Caribbean, and at that time you were in Germany. You live in Germany.
I do.
Right? So you're a diaspora author.
Yes.
Did you find it easy to get a publisher and have them understand what you wanted them to do for you and to go through that process of publishing?
So when I began the research about getting a publisher, I realized that the children market space, the children book market space, is very crowded. So uploading your manuscripts to have them read it, to have them pick out one, would have been like a hard task, like one in a million, like one of those tasks. And you would probably have been rejected a lot. So I decided quickly not to go down that route of trying to get a publisher. So this book is self-published. So researching on Google, figuring out ISBN numbers, where to upload it, how to upload it, how many ISBN numbers do I need? Do I need one for like the ebook?
Yeah.
Do I need one for the physical copy of the book? So it was a process of doing a lot of research that a publisher probably would have done for me. On you know, if I was selected. But I knew right away that I would have had to self-publish, especially doing it the way as quickly as I wanted to do it too. Because I was able to, like I said, write out the mantras pretty quickly. The hard part was getting that research done, figuring out ISBN numbers. That was the next step, getting an ISBN number and uploading it to a specific self-publishing site, and they would actually do the distribution for me.
We, when in the Caribbean, we love self-publishing. We really do. We love it because it's one of our main options. Right?
You have autonomy too.
Yes.
Right?
And that's what a lot of the authors that I deal with and handle come to understand. You retain the rights to your book when you self-publish. It is a process because you have to do everything on your own. Every step of the way, you have to figure it out on your own. But the benefit to that is that you own the rights to your book. And that means, and we haven't dealt with this a lot in the Caribbean, but that means you now can go and option the rights to your book if somebody wanted to do it for a movie or a play.
Absolutely.
Right? And those are one of the benefits because you can now get paid for your book. But when you sometimes go the traditional publishing route and have a publishing company, so you get a book agent, you approach different publishing companies through your agent, and they say, yes, we love your book. We want to pay you for your book. That means you do not own that book anymore.
That's true.
Right? So when you pay for it on your own, self-publish, and we're not advocating for one over the other, right? Everybody wants to be a J.K. Rowling, a Derek Walcott. They went the traditional publishing route.
But they got rejected a lot along the way too.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Your heart.
Yeah.
You have to, as I say, your shoulders have to be real broad, right?
For sure.
You have to be able to let things run off like duck feathers. You cannot take this personal. It is literally, sometimes you're not getting people to believe in you. And J.K. Rowling is the author of Harry Potter and all of those big books, Daniel Steele and all of these people. They also got rejections as well. So we're not advocating for, self-publishing over traditional publishing or vice versa. What we're saying to you, do your research, take that into consideration. And if you are going the self-publishing route, you are going to have the option to keep the rights to your book, but you will have to do a lot of the work yourself. And one of these days, we're going to address the marketing side of it in terms of what you have to do. So you decided to go the self-publishing route, and that took you down the road to get somebody to do the cover, the illustration. And I'm looking here at the book. Why did you choose, or was this not the colors that you're looking at, and perhaps even the font?
Yes.
Those are considerations that authors have to be so mindful of, because you have to identify your market, and then you have to figure out, okay, it's for children, so it needs to be a specific size.
Correct.
The book has to have a lot of pictures and pretty. So tell me, the font size, the font type.
Yes. All selected by me.
Why did you choose this font? Because it has a cursive.
It has a cursive because of that flow. I feel like when you think of wellness, you think of water, you think of flowing. So I chose this particular font size. I wanted it to be large. Not too large, but large enough that you can read it even in the dark. Don't advocate for that. But yes, that flowy version of it is because of that wellness aspect of it.
You know, I didn't think of that.
Yeah.
I didn't think of that. But that is something. So you went really into the nitty gritty of it when you.
Absolutely. Yes.
Look at that. So she chose a you know, Iana chose a font size that would even speak to the flow.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The flow that this mantra book would create inside of a child.
Yes.
And this is why you chose this cursive. And it's not very cursive, but you get the, you know, where you get to follow each letter is following on from each other.
And
I
you know,
love
sometimes
that.
cursive can be illegible.
Yes.
This is not. This
No,
is
no, no,
quite
not
legible.
at all.
Yeah.
I want us to continue reading because it's not a lot of words in this book. It's a children's book, easy to read. And we stopped where it says, I am well, this little boy with the dog. Could we continue?
Yes. I am well. I am the source of all goodness. I am the source of kindness. I am well. I am grace. I am fit. And I will win this race. I am well. I represent blessings from above. I am mercy. I am love.
I love that.
Yes.
I am blessings. I represent blessings from above. I am mercy. I am love. And these are some powerful words for children to be able to recite, to formalize about themselves. It's identity creation. It's personality creation. It's love for yourself. You don't have to wait until you become an adult to love yourself. You don't have to wait until your kids turn to adults to teach them how to love themselves. You can start as a child. Your son inspired you to write this book.
He did.
And tell me, have you seen differences in him since he's been using your book? Does he use the book? Does he love the book as much as you want him to?
He does. He uses it a lot. So there's a create your own mantras at the very end. So it's almost like a workbook at the end. So you can write your own sayings to yourself, and he uses it to write his own sayings.
Really?
So that's really, really cool.
Yes.
He's like, it's mommy's book. I'm going to write in it. Yeah.
I love that. I love that in the back of this book, you can write whatever you want in this book. And let me tell you, you don't only have to write mantras, kids. You can also start to write your own story.
Absolutely.
Right? So if this book inspires you as a child while you're reading it, that you want to write your own story, this is a great place to start penning your ideas.
I love
it.
You
know, and I can't tell you how much books mean to us. It opens up your imagination. It opens up your whole world. And to have a book that is talking about self-love and really getting into the mind of the person, the child, the mind of the child, I think it's extremely important. Iana, what age group is this book for?
I would say the target age group is from 4 to like teens, especially when you get into those teen years where you like really like using it as your diary, right? Like you said, to write your own personal things in there too. But yeah, I think as young as age 4, because I think that's when that's when my son started to write.
Okay.
So yeah.
So tell me, are you going to be doing any more book projects?
I believe
Give
so.
us the tea. What's happening?
I feel like once you get that virgin book out, you feel like you can do it again. Yeah, absolutely. I want to do something inspired by travel, though. So we've been traveling quite a bit. So I have something brewing about travel.
For children?
For children as well.
So I don't want you to sell out everything, but we want it to Iana. When you say travel for children, what do you mean? What kind of book you're looking to do?
Something about all the countries in the world. That's my hint.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love it. I can see it.
Yeah.
I can definitely see it. The illustrations, different countries. I love it. Guys, let me tell you, we're dealing with books in book club. We read books, we talk to authors, we connect you with your local books. And this diaspora author, a Tobagonian author, she went to Bell Garden and Speyside Anglican School. She was at Signal Hill, when it used to be Signal Hill
Senior Comprehensive
School.
Right
then.
Yes.
And as well, the other school,
Scarborough Junior Secondary School.
And it's now called Scarborough Sec. And she is here for a reunion.
Yes, it's our 25th year of graduation. Yes. So we're celebrating this weekend.
Yeah.
Friday, we have like a meet and greet. Saturday, we have our gala. And then Sunday, we have a family and sports day. So it'll be a great weekend of.
What do your friends think about your book?
They love it. They have really been supportive in terms of buying it and promoting it. And we have our 98 year, we graduated in 1998, and we have just really bonded. We're bonded in a really special way. So they've been really supportive and bought it for a lot of their children.
I love that. Yeah. So you are getting sales for your book locally. And I love that. A lot of our authors have come back to me. You know, in Book Club Corner, we interview authors all the time. And a lot of them have come back to me and said, you know, Joel, people meet me and say, I saw you on Book Club Corner. I have to come get your book. Especially one of our authors, Clement Williams.
Yes.
He has a book called Vintage Images of Tobago. He says, people see me all the time. They say, I saw you on the YouTube channel. I saw you on Facebook. I saw you on Tobago Updates. And I'm coming to get that book. And it is so gratifying for me to know that we have a space for authors to come share their book and their love for the literary arts, their love for the written word, and to make their book known to the public. Because if people don't know about your book, how are they going to buy it? Guys, you have to start telling people about your book. And Book Club Corner is your space to come love upon your book, love upon your art, love upon your craft, your creativity as an author. This is the space for you. So if you're an author out there, in Tobago especially, and you want your book to be talked about and discussed on Book Club Corner, give us a call. We have a Facebook page. Check us out. But before we go any further, I want to thank our sponsor for this centerpiece. We want to thank Neve Mackenzie of I4D Design. And I4D Design is a local floral design shop right here in Lowlands. That street opposite Magdalena Grande, and he gave us this lovely centerpiece. Let me tell you, locally made. He just threw the stick, so I collected it this morning, and he did such a good job. All, what do you call it, fish in a bowl.
Oh,
it's a fish bowl he used and transformed all of this into this beauty that's sitting here with us. So Neve, thank you very much for this floral arrangement. Every Wednesday, Neve will be giving us a fresh bouquet of flowers, a fresh centerpiece for Book Club Corner. And we support local on Book Club Corner. We support local winemakers, local florists, we're totally local, and we hope to stay so. We want to get back into this book. And what I want to discuss with this book, about this book, in terms of you as an author, I see that you have here to the back of the book, because a lot of times we are focused on the front, we focus what's in the book, but I see you have here a profile about yourself in the book, yes, as well as the illustrator.
Yes.
What motivated you to give the illustrator a space in your book for exposure and visibility?
She also was surprised when I said to her, listen, I definitely want you to be featured. But she did such a great job. Yes. Like, she did such a phenomenal job. And I wanted to also promote minority illustrators too. Yes. So I said, you know what, wherever in the world this book is, you need to be a part of it. And yes, you need to be featured. I definitely gave her a space to tell us who she is. And she was so grateful. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that. And there is so authors, this is just to let you know, when you are doing your book, consider making sure that you have a spot in your book, not just the back for your face, but perhaps even in the book to talk about yourself and to give information about yourself, where perhaps if you have other books, right, you can add a prologue to the back, and that's a nice space for you to give a read on. You know, if you loved my book, you'd love my next project, right?
Absolutely.
And this is my book that's coming up. We want to wrap up here at Book Club Corner. We want to thank you for being here. I know a lot of persons would have enjoyed the Emancipation holiday yesterday. You all were up, out, and about. And today, perhaps you're taking a little loo day. We won't speak on it. We are home, relaxing, watching us on Book Club Corner. We want to thank you again for tuning in with us. Every Wednesday, we'll be here. And we want to thank as well the company I4D Design, Joe Field Wines, for sponsoring us this lovely centerpiece and the wines. We have a wine to give away, and if you keep checking our Facebook page, we are going to tell you how you can win this wine. It's a cassava wine, and it's fantastic. 12% alcohol, people. And as I keep saying, These are adult choices. This is an adult refreshment. Please, no children, just the book, right? So I want to thank you for tuning in. Again, thank you, Iana, for being here with us. Iana Benjamin, guys, get her book. It's called I Am Well. And this book is on Barnes & Noble, Amazon, eBay. I checked it out myself. It's very accessible. And she will soon be having the book locally available to you here in Tobago and in Trinidad. And you can keep tabs on her. She's on Facebook as Iana Del Benjamin. And please get your local read. Just for a plug for the Tobago Writers Guild before we go, they have a book sale tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, right downstairs in the Port Mall. And if you're looking for your next summer read, you can check them out. Iana is going to be here with them at that book sale, the Tobago Writers Guild. And we want to thank you for sticking with us to the end of Book Club Corner. And cheers, Iana.
Cheers.
It was wonderful having you.
Thank you. You're awesome.